Alright, so decided to record another video because of actually all the replies that I got on YouTube with the previous postings. I never really posted expecting for anybody to reply. I mostly did it for like friends and family so they could kind of see what was going on whenever they were so far away. But I was really surprised to see people, getting on there and asking questions, and whether they Googled it or whatever. And it was kind of a cool thing. I was very surprised. And so a lot of people ask a lot of questions, and figure I could answer some of the questions this way. So kind of the background is that, so it has been 11 months since the inciting event of labyrinthitis, that dreadful Tuesday morning where I woke up and got out of bed and then just hit the ground. And been dealing with all that crap ever since. But doing a lot better. So I had 100% damage in this ear right here. This son of a bitch. I didn't lose any of my hearing, just lost the whole, balance thing. Or I guess the orientation information that it sends to the brain. So become a scholar in regards to how the balance system works whenever you get this thing. But yeah, so it's no longer doing anything in regards to orientation, and that's kind of the issue, is that the brain doesn't realize that your ear's all screwed up, and it just takes a really long time for it to get back to, functioning. So that's kind of, I guess that's kind of how things are. So the bad. So after 11 months, the bad stuff is still eye strain. So there's still quite a bit of eye strain. I normally before this I wore contacts all the time. But I've gotten to where I wear my glasses because my glasses are a weaker prescription. They're quite a bit older than what my contacts were. So they're a lot easier on my eyes, and if I wear my contacts, I've tried quite a bit wearing my contacts, and I've got to where I have a certain level of tolerance for them, but it gets to the point that the eyes hurt really bad, and then it gets to where your head just starts kind of screaming, and then get really dizzy. So that dizziness is just, you can't really function once it gets pretty bad. The weird thing is that my glasses kind of make me constantly dizzy, just not as dizzy as what my contacts do. So it's just kind of it's a level of dizziness that I've learned to deal with. I think I got pretty lucky though that I still have I have my glasses laying around. And if there's if you have problems, maybe you should try. If you have contacts or glasses, just try your glasses. It's strange, but it's one of the most beneficial sort of changes that I made in regards to dizziness and the eye stuff. So situations that still suck are crowds. Crowds are the worst. Anything that requires a lot of like tracking for your eyes and like focusing, it's just kind of over time. It can make things go downhill pretty quick. So I avoid crowds quite a bit, which is, if you know me, it's kind of my nature. But now it's kind of forced on me by these, physical reasons. So, which stinks because now it kind of removes the choice. But there's still days where I'll want to do something, and enough that I will kind of deal with the issues of it. But you kind of have to weigh that before you go, and you just have to be very aware that things can go south pretty quickly. Places that are really difficult, IKEA. God, stay away from IKEA if you got this. Just don't do it until you know you're really ready for it. Grocery stores, department stores, those things all are they're difficult. If you go to the grocery store, just have a plan, and get in there and get out. I try not to let things build up, so I'll just kind of I'll go pretty quickly when I need, just a couple things. The things that kind of catch you off guard are like really funky carpet patterns, really fine patterns, so really fine lines that are together, walls, same sort of thing. Someone has a messed up shirt on, standing in front of you, it can kind of have an effect on you, so just be careful with that stuff. Stressful situations. I actually had some job interviews, and I wasn't ready for it. In the first one, I just kind of clammed up. I couldn't answer the simplest of questions, so kind of, I don't know how, but if you know you have a stressful situation come up and you need to be clear-headed, practice somehow get you in situations where you have to, you know that you're going to be affected by it, and so you have to kind of work through it and figure out your coping mechanisms of it. Good things are I can drive. I no longer drive because I moved. I actually moved from Colorado to Seattle, and I'm living downtown now, and so I got rid of my vehicle, and I walk just about anywhere I need to go or ride the bus. But I can drive pretty well in like familiar neighborhoods. At night, still kind of sketchy, and I don't really want to be driving here like in a downtown area just because pedestrians and one-way streets and having to search for traffic signs, and it's expensive, and so the risk just did not equal the reward to me, so I just kind of deal with it, and I get around without driving now. But like I said, I moved, got a new job, made it through interviews. I'm a programmer, and so the interview process was pretty stressful, so there was a lot of on the phone interviews, which it took a little while to get used to. It took me a few of them to get through the stress and the dizziness and to be able to think and concentrate. So practice as much as you can, and then I had to do on-site interviews, and that was pretty brutal. But the best thing that I think I did for myself in the on-site interviews was that I was just completely honest with the people of I have, these issues I can't really get around. I try to explain everything as much as possible to them so that they could just keep me in one room rather than, give me the grand tour of the place and all those sort of things. I mean, that really just being honest and knowing that it's going to be, that getting out and doing things is going to be hard, and you're going to have to plan for it. And it's taken a long time for me to be honest, because I'm normally a person who kind of pushes through a lot of that stuff, and I just, I never really try not to let things bother me, but this bothers you, and it's really hard to get through. So, being honest is about the best thing that I can do, and with myself, and then with the interviews. So they all accommodate me incredibly well. So I'm very happy about that. So that's how things are. Still not perfect. I was told that it'd be a year or two before my brain fully adjusted, and so it's just about a year, and to be honest, I think I have still a long ways to go, and it's really slowed down. The rate of recovery has drastically slowed down, so this has kind of become normal. I don't know a better way to explain it. If there's going to be another year or so of this, then so be it. I don't know. I've gotten to the point where I can function. I can get to work and make money and pay for my residence, live on my own. So anyway, 11 months. See you later.